All right, so it's being recorded now. All right. So far, I think that's the only comment or question you have. So for now, you should be clear in your mind. Your future employers in the US is not Aguinaldo Ghana Recruitment Agency. Your future employer in the US is an organization called United Methodist Homes and Services. United Methodist Homes and Services. Okay, let's move on. So for nursing assistants, you'll be working a contract, a bonded bond. You'll be serving a bond, a minimum of 3 years, but a maximum of 4 years. So we put it 4 years bond period. During the bond period, you're going to earn your salaries in full, no salary deduction whatsoever. And I think we explained that during the interview, but I want to reiterate it. We don't do salary deduction because all the facilities we're going to employ you to work for in the US are not for profit facilities. All the facilities you're going to work for are not for profit facilities. And I remember Rose, during her presentation, shared with you some of these facilities. As we go along, you'll come to know all these facilities. We have 70 facilities spread across 20 states, 20 states. So what it means is, number of you, but when you get to the US, your first point is Chicago, where United Methodist is located. But from there, we'll be transferring most of you out of Chicago. Some will stay in Chicago. Others will move on to the other 19 other states in the US, from New York to Washington, Nebraska, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and so on and so forth. Okay, so a brief look at nursing assistant's duties and responsibility. Nursing assistant agrees to 1, meet the requirements of employment as outlined in the employment contract, and one of it is medical examination. 2, ensure that at all times and during the term of this agreement, UMH has nursing assistant updated address, phone, and email. At nursing assistant's own expense, secure all required certifications, credentials, and other documents necessary to work legally as a nursing assistant with UMHS and its clients in the United States. So if by now you have been trained as a nurse or as a nursing assistant, you have written the appropriate licensure exams. For registered nurse, the licensure exams is NCLEX. For nursing assistant, the licensure exams is CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant. So if you have those, have written and passed those exams and have acquired the nursery license, we just file for you. But as of now, none of you here have those credentials. And that is why we said you go through a 16 weeks course, 6 weeks, which is about 4 months. It's online. For registered nurses, we'll have an in-person class starting next week. And all that is to help prepare you to write the appropriate licensure exams. Once you pass, you now qualify to be employed in the United States. Additionally, during the term of this agreement, at nursing assistant own expense, nursing assistant shall ensure that his or her certification and credentials are kept up to date and in full force and effect. So here, as nurses, you know your license is always 1 year and it has to be renewed regularly. It is your own responsibility and duty, although we have programs to help you meet that responsibility and duty as you go along. But it is your responsibility first and foremost to always make sure that your license in the United States is valid, is not expired, and is in full force. And just like Ghana, you need to do CPD programs, training, accredited training to renew your license periodically. We have the same thing in the US. Okay. Then your next responsibility, work and cooperate with Aguinaldo Ghana Recruitment Agency, Aguinaldo, and UMHS in connection with nursing assistant effort to obtain governmental approval to nursing assistants move from Ghana to the US. Because we are a licensed recruitment agency, when the time comes, you have your green card, you have your visa, your family have everything to move. We don't just get you an air ticket and you fly. By Ghanaian law and the requirement of the license would hold the Ministry of Labor and Employment, you will need to get you something we call exit certificate. Exit certificate from the Labor Office. And that ensures that you are leaving Ghana as a legal employee of United Methodist Home and Services. You are going to the US to live and work there. If you travel like that, when you get to the US, the first point, as soon as you settle down, we take you to the nearest Ghana embassy in the US, register you so that you will be extended with consular services when you need them from the Ghana embassy in the United States. So the Ghanaian government will know you are in the US, you are working with United Methodist. In fact, your contract, your condition of service, we are legally bound to share with the government of Ghana. Okay. Now, E, inform Aguinaldo immediately as to the outcome of the IELTS English language exams if required. See paragraph 11 below, and the scores. If the scores are not passing, UMHS reserves the right to cancel this agreement with no further obligation to nursing assistants. So remember, we said one of the exams you'll be writing is IELTS, but we don't need it now. We need IELTS after you have passed your nursing assistant exams or registered nurse exams. And then down the line, we would file your green card, get you a few documents before we will need your IELTS. We time your IELTS exams in such a way that the time you are leaving Ghana to the US, you still have a valid IELTS test results. When you get to the US, we're going to need your IELTS to do a few things for you in the US. One of it is to transfer your license from one state to the other, and you need your IELTS. So we don't need your IELTS now. If you do it now, it's most likely by the time you'll be leaving from Ghana to the US, it has already expired or is almost expiring before you leave to the US, and we don't want that. Okay, then the next one, coordinate with United Methodist regarding nursing assistant state of Illinois licensure and or licensure for any state in which nursing assistant shall be assigned to work, including any required credential verification. During the term of this agreement, a nursing assistant on expense, nursing assistant shall ensure that his or her state licensures are kept up to date and in full force and effect. We explained this, but let me reiterate it. We said when you leave Ghana, your first state is Illinois. Illinois is the state, like the region in the US. And the biggest city in Illinois is Chicago. Now, in the US, every state has its NMC, Board of Nursing. So we have an Illinois State Board of Nursing. You need to hold a valid nursing assistant license with the Illinois State Board of Nursing. And then when you are transferred from Chicago to another state, let's say New York, New York also has its own NMC, State Board of Nursing. And you need to transfer your license from Illinois to New York. In fact, it is one of the reasons why, and during that transfer, you will need your IELTS results. And so it's one of the reasons why we said you need to have a valid IELTS test when you are moving from Ghana, so that when the time for transfers come, it's seamless, effortless. Okay. Disclose all other recruiter agreement, and listen to this part. We know some of you have been going around shopping from one recruitment agency to the other. Some of you may have had some relationship with other recruitment agencies. It's fine. As long as you disclose all other recruitment agencies' agreement you have, that the nursing assistant has signed, that are currently in effect. Nursing assistant understands that any relationship that nursing assistant has with recruiters other than Aguinaldo or employers other than UMHS are nursing assistant's legal responsibility. Then the last one, disclose any contractual obligation nursing assistant has that may conflict with this agreement. Nursing assistant understands and agrees that nursing assistant will commit a serious legal violation if nursing assistant signs this contract while already committed contractually to another recruiter or employer. Nursing assistant agrees that UMHS is entitled to receive financial damages from nursing assistant if nursing assistant has another contract that conflicts with this agreement. So please disclose. There will be time for you to do that. Okay? We use lawyers in filing everything. We have one top immigration lawyer based in Chicago called Winterston Law Group. And we hire them, so you find their name here. Legal services and use. UMHS agrees to arrange for hiring of the Winterston Law Group or another attorney at law to serve as nursing assistant legal counsel to assist nursing assistant in process of obtaining an immigrant visa for nursing assistant to come to the United States and work as nursing assistant. Nursing assistant consents to UMHS hiring of Winterston as nursing assistant legal counsel, and nursing assistant agrees to cooperate with the Winterston attorneys in connection with legal services that Winterston will be providing to nursing assistant. So we have, these are top lawyers, and they charge heavily just to get all your appropriate legal document. And the good news is you are going to get all those documents here in Ghana before you even leave to the US. We don't want a situation where you travel like the other agencies do. You leave your home country, once they get you some tourist visa or some visiting visa, and you are happy. You want to travel, right? Oh, come, we'll get you a visa. They do some tourist visa, 30 days, sometimes 6 months. You are happy. You sit in the plane, you go and land, and the reality hits in your face. Documenting in your papa. You become stranded. Oh, it's not a good sight. And so we don't want anybody to be in that situation. You get all your legal documents here, and then you go with your family to the US. In the contract, you have terms like departure to the US, all the things you need to have ready before you depart from Ghana to the US. Then after arrival in the United States, what you must do. First, you need to register. We'll help you to register with the United States Social Security, to have a Social Security number. You need to have a driver's license because you'll be driving whilst you are working as a nurse. We don't have trotro there, so you need to be driving. And then your payment arrangement, and all the works neatly described here. Now, compensation. It says once fully licensed as nursing assistant by the state of Illinois or other states where nursing assistant will be employed, and after UMHS assigns nursing assistant to work at a facility, nursing assistant shall begin providing the services required by this agreement. Initially, UMHS shall pay nursing assistant at a rate of $16.29 per hour, which pursuant to www.flcdatacenter.com is at least the prevailing wage. The prevailing wage in effect for Cook County, Illinois, at the time this agreement is signed. So I have received a lot of questions about how much will I be paid as a nursing assistant when I get to the US? Will I be paid higher than those working there? Or because I am Black, I am Ghanaian, I am nursing assistant, will I be paid lower than the rate? No. You will be paid at the same prevailing wage. Prevailing wage is the wage announced by the state where you will be residing, by the government of the state government, to be the salary, the minimum salary of nurses, nursing assistant, and all other profession. And you'll be getting at least that minimum wage. The minimum wage varies from state to state in the US. Some states pay higher, some states pay lower. What determines the rate are economic conditions. So a state like New York, they pay high. But New York, one bedroom apartment in New York, you pay through your nose. Okay, and then when you go to other states, the rate is lower. Accommodation and other public services are also lower there. Okay. Then nursing assistant will always be paid at least the higher of the prevailing wage for Cook County, Illinois, or for location of the facility where the nursing assistant will be assigned. The United States government or Cook County, Illinois may change the prevailing wage once per year, and if so, nursing assistant base pay rate will increase to the new rate unless nursing assistant is already being paid at a higher rate than the prevailing wage. Now, unless and until nursing assistant becomes a supervisor or becomes another exempt employee under applicable wage per hour guideline, nursing assistant shall be paid overtime at not less than 1.5 times their current hourly rate for any hours worked in excess of 40 hours per week. So when you go to the US, you're going to work your normal shift. In the US, nurses work shift, and it's 8 hours per shift. 8 hours per shift. Now, and so 8 times 5 is 40. So per week, you're expected to work 40 hours a week. Most states in the US, your salary is paid weekly or maximum bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, you get your salary. Every 2 weeks, you get your salary. So at the end of the second week, you should have worked 80 hours. And then they calculate your salary 16.29 times 80. You get your salary. Let me see if I can calculate that with my phone. Where's my calculator? Oh, there's an on-screen calculator. So let's go. Calculator. Right. So 16.29 times 80. So your salary every 2 weeks, the agreement will be 1,000. As you can see, oh, sorry. I've touched something. Hold on, let me share my screen so that you can see it well. All right. In a few minutes, it will pop up on your screen. Okay, better. So 16.29 times 80, that would be your 2 weeks salary. You convert that, I don't know what the exchange rate today is, multiply it by 12 cedis to the dollar, that's about 15,634 Ghana cedis. That is for 2 weeks. If you multiply that by 2, you have your monthly salary on 310,000. 31,278.8 pesos. That's about how much CNs are supposed to pay for their process in Ghana. That's about your month's salary. Okay. Now, then when it comes to your overtime, the contract says you are working 40 hours. Anything above 40 hours, you'll be paid 1.5 times your current rate. So let's see, your current rate is 16.29. Okay, half of that, so divided by 2 will be 8.185. Add the 8.185 to the 16.29. Oops. No. 8.185 plus 16.29. 24.475. So any overtime hours you work, this is how much you'll be paid each hour. So let's say in a particular week you worked 50 hours. So your first 40 hours would be 40 times 16.5. And the extra 10 hours, you will multiply it by 24.475. And that over time, you'll be paid 244.75. That is over time. Now, one secret you come and learn when you get to the US is, apart from overtime, your shift starts from Mondays and ends Your shift starts from Mondays and ends on Fridays. Your shift starts on Mondays and ends on Fridays. So Saturdays and Sundays are your off days. You're not going to work on Saturdays and Sundays unless you opt to work weekend shift. Those who work weekends are paid double their hourly rate. So for whatever reason you work, for whatever reason you work over the weekend, which is not your normal shift, 16.29, that is per hour, times 2, 32.58. That is how much you'll be paid for working over the weekend. So assuming you work one full shift, 2 full shifts, Saturday and Sunday, that will be 16 hours. So this rate by 16, and that will be your hourly rate for the weekend. So there are a lot of incentives you will get whilst working. Some of the facilities you're going to work with have scholarships. There are insurance, health insurance for all of you. That one is mandatory for everybody. So for health insurance is mandatory for everybody. You're going to get it whilst you work with UMHS. There are other benefits you go through. Okay, so my good friends, my nurses and nursing assistants, these are but some of the provisions in your employment contract. Like I said from the beginning, it's not the focus of these evenings, but just to give you an idea, the price of all the effort you want to take. Now, this contract is binding. Once you sign, it's binding on us, it's binding on you. When the time comes, when you get your green card, later you get your visa screen certificate, another document you need to get to go for a visa interview at the US Embassy. You will get your visa screen certificate. It is during the visa screen certificate that we need your IELTS results. The visa screen certificate is a document issued by the US State Department inviting you to live and work permanently in the US. And once you have that document, 95% guaranteed, you get your visa from the embassy and then you fly to the US. Okay, now, when you are going for the visa interview at the embassy, you will carry this same employment contract you sign along to show to the consular before they will give you your visa to fly. Okay, gradually you'll come and understand it. So, what is our next step? Next step is to go for your medical examination. And when you go for the medical examination, these are the areas you'll be examined on. I want to, just a second, it will be on your screen shortly. Now, we will issue you a letter. I want to show you how that letter looks like. Oh, sorry. Just opening the contract. Before you go for the medical examination, we'll have to give you a letter. We have our own facility where you go to do the medical exams. All our medical examination is done by SynLab Ghana. SynLab Ghana. They used to be called MedLab. They are now SynLab. We had already arranged with them. 1 second, I want to show you a copy of that letter. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so on your screen now, this is a letter we issued to SynLab for our nurse. These are the areas you'll be examining on. So there's a chest x-ray for TB, tuberculosis. If you are pregnant and you let us know, you must let us know so that we give you a different test to do and not the x-ray. The x-ray is not good for fetus. Then you will do hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, RPR. There will be no pregnancy test. In other words, if you are pregnant, it is not an inhibition. If you are pregnant, please let us know. It will not stop you from going through the process, but it will help us guide you the appropriate process so that it will not affect your pregnancy. We also do drug screening, THC, cannabis, and all those medical drugs. You will do fasting blood sugar and then physical examination and medical report. The doctor will issue a medical examination certificate to us once you are done. Okay, so the medical examination. Now we do a medical examination at the first step so that if there are issues, you will have time to resolve them. So the goal for this medical examination is to determine if you have issues, any issue that will prevent you from traveling to the US, so that we'll have time to resolve it. So when you test positive for any of these, we'll have time to help you resolve them. Okay? There are a number of you who are hepatitis B positive. You have no idea you have it. Some of you have syphilis. You don't know. Some of you are, and so on and so forth. So the test will help us know where, and these are critical areas that can inhibit you from traveling. But once we know, we are able to put in place interventions to help you resolve them so that you can make progress. Now, after your medical exams, you're going to start your course, 16 weeks course online. And it is online. I want to briefly show you how it's going to go like. This is our courses website. And we have the NCLEX course and the CNA course both online. We'll assign you to your course page as soon as you finish your medical exams. Assign you your course page and you start your course work. Okay, so this is somebody's course dashboard. And the person is a complex applicant. She's now 26% completed. It's a course that covers all the key aspects of NCLEX. So when you look at NCLEX, this is the course dashboard. You have, there's an NCLEX book we use, we share with you. There are test banks or Q bank you're going to use, official Q bank we use, plus a few other reference materials. You start with time management. Time management is key to the NCLEX. Some people have failed the NCLEX because of poor time management. Critical thinking is something we don't do in Ghana or in Africa, but is the bedrock of everything in the US. Bloom's taxonomy. What is the NCLEX? The anatomy of the NCLEX questions. SATA, select all that apply. Absolute words, opposite, same, priority, acute, and so on. It goes on and on and on and on until we cover every safe and effective care environment. Immunization, high-risk behavior, some bit of epidemiology, health promotion and maintenance, cultural behaviors that affect the nursing process, basic care and comfort. Okay, and as you go along, so you see this student as she goes along, it takes the one, and at the end of every topic, there's a quiz you take. There are drill tests you'll be taking as you go along. And there are a lot of tests. So at the beginning of every topic, there's a pre-text. So let me show you. Basic and comfort, basic care and comfort, you see test drill. Then at the end of the topic, there are post-tests you're going to take. Then there's a pre-test for the next topic, reduction of risk potential. And then you start the course as you go along. Okay, so all this topic, this nurse have completed all of them. She's now somewhere on hematology labs value 1. Going to learn the lab values and so on. Then you come to pharmacology. So this is what you'll be doing in the next 16 weeks. Like we told you, we have our NCLEX teacher that have been teaching our nurses in the Philippines. She is landing in Ghana on the 9th of September next week. Pick her from the airport. And on the 15th, she will start the in-person class. Those of you who maybe take the time to come, you are all welcome. We have arranged accommodation already for you. So this is how the course dashboard is. Maternal nursing, pediatric nursing, med-surg nursing, cardiac care, emergency nursing, gastrointestinal, renal care, neuro care, mental health, and what have you. It is going to be fun, going to love it, but at the end of the day, we will fly you to the NCLEX exam center, you take the NCLEX, you pass, and that is it. All right, so I've been speaking for the last 1 hour. Up until this point, do you have any question, any concern, any comment at all? The floor is now open. Does anybody have any question, any comment, any concern? Or you all understand everything I've said so far? Do we have any question? Any question at all? All right, we don't have any question. All right, yes. Good evening. Hello.
At what point can one make payment? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is about the payment. At what point can one make the payment?
Oh,
is it
yes.
before the medicals or after?
No, before the medical. So now that you have passed your interviews, we have sent, you already have the fees. You need to start making payments now. And your first payment, the minimum is, I mean, you can pay small, but the first payment is to pay for your own medical exams. The details are on the breakdown of the fees, which you already have. Okay, and then where to pay, how to pay, everything is in that document. So just study it. You go to the bank, you make payment. Once you pay, you send us a copy of your pay-in slip. You can WhatsApp it to me directly. You can email it to us. And if you want to email, in fact, not if you want to, you would have to also email. Once you WhatsApp it, we'll still direct you to email a copy. And I want to share with you the email address to use. And second. Okay. So once you make payment, you just send a copy of your pay-in slip. That is the receipt you get from the bank. You email it to this email address, medicals@aguinaldo.com. Let me increase the font size. Excellent. You can email a copy of your receipt to medicals@aguinaldo.com. Upon receiving it, we would arrange with SynLab, and then the SynLab will schedule you. Once we receive the schedule, we'll now email you with the details of the schedule, plus the letter I showed you with your name. Then when the day comes, you just go to SynLab and then you do the medicals. As soon as you do the medicals, we automatically enroll you on the course, and your coursework starts. William, thank you for that question. Do we have any other question, please? Any other question? All right. Thank you very much. If you don't have any other question, as we go along, you can ask questions on the page. You can also reach out anytime during working hours. We work Mondays to Friday, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day, Monday to Fridays. But we don't work on Saturdays and we don't work on Sundays unless there are critical issues. But we'll arrange that with you. But Mondays to Fridays is our working time. Right? There are no further.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, you said that the actual amount for us to pay is $70,000 US.
$70,000 US.
Yes, sir.
No,
And
that's
with
not
that,
correct.
we are supposed to pay half of
William, or whoever.
Hello?
Is that William? William.
Hello?
William, I cannot hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes, what you have to pay is in this document I'm sharing on my screen, which you already have copies of. So for CNAs, it's $7,000 and not $70,000. But you're only paying half, $3,500. You can pay bit by bit. The other half, when you get to the US, you pay. That is for CNAs. For NCLEX applicant, is $8,000. Okay, so this is You have all the details here, and you want to pay, you go to the bank, Standard Chartered Bank. That is our account details. Pay in, you get a pay-in slip, you send it to us. But if you don't have Standard Chartered Bank at a bank near where you are, you can just go to your own bank, wherever you have your bank account. Just go and see your manager and tell him you want to pay money into this account. They will do it for you. Okay? So if you don't have Standard Chartered where you are, you don't need to be traveling from one city to the other to find Standard Chartered. You can pay from your bank. And then these are the detailed breakdown. For NCLEX is 8,000, for CNAs is 7,000. You only pay in half. NCLEX 4,000, the other half when you get to the US, you pay. CNAs 3,500, the other half when you get to the US, you pay. Then once you pass the once you pass the NCLEX or the CNA, this is how much we're going to spend on you. The detail is all there. Okay?
Okay, sir. My question is still about the option 3 on the payment. It goes ahead to say that those who are not able to afford the part payment can still pay, is it a quarter of the part payment? And with that, when they get to their destination, they will pay a percentage on the remaining sum amount of money. So on that note, I would like to ask the percentage that they will work on.
William, I'm so sorry, your network is bad. I cannot hear. Your voice come and go, So you ask your question on the page, okay? And we'll answer it. All right. And then somebody asked, can I get a copy of, Afia says, hello, sir, please, can we have a copy of what we are discussing if possible? I mean, a copy of the agreement. Yes, you get the agreement after, each of you will get the agreement, but after your medical exams, not before. You get the agreement after your medical examination, not before. All right. As soon as you go to do the medical exam,
Okay, sir.
The email will send you with your certificate, your result will come with a draft of the agreement. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, concerning what I was saying, according to the letter given to us, we are to pay that's half of the 7,000, which is 35,000. And the option 3 goes ahead to
3,500, 35,000.
For those who are not able or one or the other unable to meet. For those who are in one reason or the other, and with that, an interest rate will be worked on that for the remaining sum amount for them to pay. And my question is that what will be the rate of that interest? That's my question. Thank you.
All right. The interest will be known as you go along. Okay. As the process go along, you get the interest. It's in your contract you'll be signing. Okay, so let's start the process. As you go along, you know the interest. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the question are just a repetition of what we have already answered in different languages. But if you have any question, you can reach out to me personally. You can also ask on the page. We'll respond as you go along. We have detained you long enough. Sunday evening, you should be with your family. Thank you for coming. Good evening to you all. We'll share the recording of the meeting on the page by tomorrow morning. Good evening and good night to you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.